Alright, so this is a Cardi B inspired hairstyle. Ever since I found Cardi B, I've just loved this hairstyle in particular. This is the first style that I ever saw her in, and I just loved it. I just love braids in general, but these braids were popping. Just add a little something something to it. I always see everyone with the two big braids, but never do they ever really do anything to really make it pop. But I liked the four little braids on the side, honey. I loved it. So I was like, let me do this style. Every time she did that, I was just like, oh, I gotta do it, I gotta do it, I gotta do it. You know? But I'm just here, I'm just telling you, my audio is a hot dang mess. But just saying, like how to slant it and how long the braid's gonna be, and like I just wanted it to be really, really long, and it's just four braids on the side. I'm gonna show you exactly how I did this side basically, and I'm pretty sure that I only used 2 packs. I just cut a little bit maybe off of one side of it so that it wasn't as long, because Expression's hair is really, really long. I'm going to show you the pack of hair that I used in a minute, but right now I'm just parting my sections. I'm very OCD about my partings. Like a hot mess. Like it has to be perfect, like I'm just not one little strand should be out of place when I part, but I guess that's a good thing. But I'm just parting the section for the big braid and sectioning off the part for the little braids. Make sure it matches the other side as much as I can get it to. Because it's much easier to see someone's head when they're in front of you versus trying to see your own head, the top of your own head, and trying to make sure everything lines up correctly. But right now all I'm doing is moisturizing my hair so that it's easier to braid and it stays moisturized while it's in the braid. So I don't have dry, nasty, crusty hair when I take my braids out. So I don't want to have to spend too much shmoney. Cardi B loves that word. She says shmoney. I don't have to spend too much shmoney trying to get products to smooth that bad boy out once it's time to take it out. So I moisturize it before I braid. So using the comb to keep the little teeny tiny hairs out the way, because I got some breakage there in the front. I still got my edges, honey. Still got my edges. And then I just start to braid. I don't really add any hair to these. I don't add any hair at all to these braids. It's just my hair. So but I will add hair when I do the big braid. But I braid it out just a little bit. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my braiding. Like if it's not tight enough, I'm gonna redo it. But I braid it out just a little bit. I would say about not even halfway through, just enough so that when it gets to the braid, the big braid, that you just see braid still. You don't see just straight hair. So I'm just braiding the sides here. It's much easier to braid, especially when it's moisturized, because when you braid your hair while it's dry, that's when you experience a lot of breakage and knots and tangles, and it's just a hot mess. So it's always best to go ahead and dampen your, braid your hair while it's damp and full of, oils and leave-in conditioner of your choice. So that's pretty much all I do. I'm done with the sides. Now I'm just, detangling the part where most of the hair is gonna be. And always with curly hair, comb from the bottom up. Because if you comb from the roots, you're gonna break hair off. And you wanna retain length and all your strands also. So that's pretty much what I do. And people always take chunks and sections of hair and just put moisturizer on it, but you want to go ahead and split that in half too, so you can get in the middle, because sometimes the middle doesn't get anything. So but baby your hair, treat it good and it'll treat you well back. You don't want to just have a cute style just to have a cute style. You want your hair to be healthy while it's in that protective style. That's the whole point of a protective style. So now I cut off the little piece, and I'm separating the hairs smaller pieces, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as I separate it. Like I said, I used the whole pack for each braid. And at that point, I realized that I didn't do enough braids on one side. I think it's 5 braids. I can't really tell because I'm moving so fast myself, so I'm not even going to do that to myself. But I added another braid for whatever reason. And now I'm just going ahead, and so that the ends aren't blunt, I'm just pulling the ends, some of them, every few or so pieces, every few or so strands, so that it's not a blunt end, it's a little bit trashy, so that I'm able to braid it all the way out to the end. And when I do dip it in water, I just cut to the length that I want it to be, and it doesn't unravel ever when I do that. So, but I'm just adding as I go along. They call these invisible braids, Ghana braids, feed-in, cornrows, whatever the heck you want to call it, you go ahead and you call it that, because I've seen so many names for this, I just don't know. I don't know. But I feel like the Ghana braids are just, you know, the really fat ones that people do. Not this, but it's just, it gets really fat at the beginning of it, and it just gets bigger and bigger as it goes back. I feel like those are Ghana braids. Invisible braids, you know, I feel like that's just what people call them, just because you don't see that little ball in the front, so you want to go ahead and call it invisible braids. But you know, do whatever you feel is necessary. But I like to call them feed-in cornrows, and it doesn't really matter to me what you call it. But I'm pretty much almost done here, and all I do here at the ends is I take a comb and I comb out my ends so that, you know, it's not as curly and it stretches a little bit. Just brush them out a little bit so that it's not as curly as I'm braiding it out. And pretty much all I'm doing here is finishing braiding it out. It's pretty long, so it just takes a little while. Just about done. Now I'm adding a bit of edge control. You know, just so that my edge is probably not gonna last very long. I have actually found some gel that is actually pretty good on natural hair. But all done. Probably use that next time. All done, and this is pretty much how I wrap up my hair. I'm gonna wrap up my hair every night around the braids and just tie in the middle. You gotta bring down the long part so that it's covered. I put this because I thought it was so funny when she did it. But I hope you subscribe forever. I'm sorry I had to. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and comment, and add me on my social media.